So this alien looking speaker is amazing, but is it actually worth the price? What's up everybody, Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews here, and today we are checking out the Supernova Bluetooth speaker from GravaStar. This speaker is a lot more than just audio, it's a whole vibe. So let's check it out. Before we get started, GravaStar did send it out for me to review, but they're not seeing this video before it goes live, and they have zero say on what my thoughts and opinions are on it. So we'll dive into the specs and features of the Supernova first, then we'll talk about the pros and cons and summary of it. In typical GravaStar fashion, it's got a futuristic design that stands out from the crowd, just like the mouse that I reviewed a couple months ago. The Supernova is constructed with a high quality metal frame, and it feels really solid and sturdy, so it really has kind of a premium feel in your hands. GravaStar always delivers on the design, and this speaker is no different. The matte black finish gives it that stealthy, rugged look while still maintaining an eye-catching aesthetic, and there's also a yellow battle-worn option as well, even though it's quite a bit more expensive. For dimensions, the Supernova measures around 7 inches in height, which makes it pretty compact, but it's still very powerful, and it weighs in about 3.3 pounds, so it's not overly heavy, but it's got some heft to it, which adds to that overall premium feel. From the audio, you're getting clear and high-quality sound with a focus on delivering balanced audio performance, and we'll touch on that more in just a little bit about how it lacks a little bit in the bass department, but it features a 25-watt speaker core with a 3-inch driver and 1/2-inch tweeter, which allows it to blast out 25 watts of balanced sound. And if you have 2 of these speakers, you can also pair them for stereo sound, which is a really nice feature to have. Now, it does have its own internal battery, which is one of the things that makes it really nice because it kind of looks like a computer speaker, but you can carry it with you. The internal battery is one of the main features of this speaker, so you can take it with you to go without needing a power source. And according to GravaStar, you're looking at around 9 hours of playtime on a single charge, which is decent for this size. I would like to see a little bit more capacity in that aspect. For connectivity, it has 2 different modes. It has wireless connection through Bluetooth 5.3, and it's a pretty stable connection that I didn't have any issues with, and I could get about 20 to 30 feet away before I started to see any type of interruption. And it pairs really nice and quick with anything that uses Bluetooth, such as smartphones, tablets, or laptops, so that's really nice, but it also does have an auxiliary cable input, so you can just connect it manually with a cable. Now for the Supernova's RGB lighting setup, it flashes red whenever it's charging, but it has 8 total color options that it can cycle through in 3 different modes, and you can adjust the brightness levels manually. The 3 different modes include 8 static colors that you can switch between, breathing, and then a campfire setting that flickers. As for the price, it's definitely not cheap, but you are paying for a speaker that offers both style and substance. GravaStar currently has it listed at $160 for the black one, and then on $200 for the yellow one, but there is an option to buy a bundle of the 2 for stereo sound. Now let's dive into what I like and dislike about the speaker, and we'll start with the pros. The audio performance is really solid in this. It gets very loud, and it has a nice, clear, and crisp sound with plenty of volume, and it's really perfect for most settings that you might use it in. Whether you're gaming or listening to music or even watching movies, the sound quality does not disappoint.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Another thing that I like about this speaker is the fact that it is portable. Having an internal battery and being able to take it to even outdoor events or setting it up anywhere you want to without being tethered to a wall outlet or a computer, that makes it really versatile in my opinion. And then for build and design, I am really starting to be impressed with GravaStar products. I think the overall function of them kind of fits the standard for what their products would expect. Kind of like with the M1 Mercury Pro mouse that I reviewed. It was a good gaming mouse. It's not going to blow you away in any regard, but the fact that you're mixing really cool aesthetics with really good build quality with pretty good actual usability of it, I think it's a good combination of the 3. And the Supernova is definitely no exception. The metal frame gives you a nice premium feel, and it just looks amazing. It's definitely a statement piece in your setup, especially if you're into gaming or sci-fi aesthetics. Another thing that I like is how easy it connects to all of your different devices. There's no fuss with the connectivity, and once you've got it paired, the connection is very stable.
Bluetooth connected.
So if you are someone who gets frustrated with Bluetooth setups, I don't think you're going to have an issue with this speaker. I also like the fact that you can have a stereo setup. I already touched on this a little bit, but for me, I do not like having one single speaker for something. I like having a stereo setup with each side of my head being able to hear something, and I think that's really important for gaming or watching movies or whatever you want to do with it. So that's definitely something that I prefer. But then you start looking at the price of having two speakers that are costing between $250 to $300. That's kind of up there for a stereo setting with sound that could be a little bit better. Now let's dive into some of the areas of improvement that I would like to see. I'll start out with bass performance. While the sound is very clear overall, it does target more of a balanced feel, so it could use a little bit more punch when it comes to the bass. So if you're someone who really likes that deep bass thump, then this speaker might leave you wanting a little bit more in that department. The next thing I'd like to see improvement on is actually the RGB lighting. I think it looks great because it fits the aesthetic of the device, but I actually found that the brightness could be a little bit more intense. I'd like to see it brighter and maybe even a little bit more of a presence of RGB. I think sometimes things get a little bit too saturated with too many colors with RGB, but in this specific instance, I think where the light comes from is just a little bit too small, and I'd like to see maybe a little bit bigger surface areas of where the light comes out of. An example of this is that if you're in a well-lit room, you don't really notice the RGB too much, and they don't really pop as hard as I would like them to. But overall, I still do think that it looks great. Another thing I'd like to see is an actual fourth mode on the speaker that reacts to music or sound effects that are happening. I think this can kind of make gaming a bit more immersive, or even just listening to it a bit more pleasing to look at. I think the RGB effects overall are great, but I'd love to see something that syncs up with the actual sound or the beat of the music that you're listening to. I think it would add another layer of coolness to the speaker. But overall, I do think that the Supernova from GravaStar is a very solid speaker, and I think it combines excellent sound quality with one of the really cooler looking designs that you can find on the market. I mentioned the Mercury M1 Pro gaming mouse that I reviewed recently from GravaStar, and it was a really solid option for a gaming mouse if you're looking for something that's very cool. So GravaStar is something that I'm really excited to see their product lineup expand, because they don't have a ton of options on their website right now, but what they do have looks really awesome. And this speaker is no exception. It looks great. I think it sounds great. I do think it's worth the dollars. While the bass could be a bit stronger and the RGB lighting could be a bit brighter, these are really minor drawbacks when you look at the overall package of this speaker. I really think that it's ideal for anyone that wants a blend of style and functionality. It fits seamlessly into a gaming setup or even a futuristic home decor scene, which makes it more than just an audio device. It is absolutely a statement piece. And like I've said a couple times, the stereo functionality, if you're really looking to take it to the next level, having two of these side by side looks great, and it'll provide you the experience that you're ideally looking for. And that's where that bundle deal can really be more of a better value for you. But at the end of the day, yes, these speakers do come with a higher price tag, but you're getting premium build quality, great sound, and a design that will definitely get people talking. So if you're looking for a speaker that's both functional and aesthetically impressive, I'd say the GravaStar Supernova is worth every penny. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this speaker? What do you think about GravaStar products? Do you think that they're cool? Do you think they're worth it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and joining the Freaky Tech family and hitting that like button to help the channel grow. I cannot grow this channel without your support. But thank you so much for stopping by and spending some of your day with me. Again, I'm Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews. I'll see you next time.